Your job as a marketer is threefold here, and it's one, make it easy for your partners to believe in your brand. The second one is build connection and not just campaigns. And then the third is to fuel alignment with storytelling and support that makes them feel like they're an extension of your team. And the outcome here is you're going to get more sales. Partners are going to sell what they believe in and people they like. And this is going to increase your marketing effectiveness.
Oh yes, this is the Hardcore Marketing Show. I'm Casey Cheshire, your host for this epic journey. Today's show is sponsored by Ringmaster, on a mission to launch B2B podcasts that create relationships, generate revenue, and drive growth. Ringmasterlive.com. Bam. All right, here we go. Man, I am so excited for this one. My guest today gets it done, and she is all about the results, and I'm going to tease you with some of those results and share those with you. But man, let me introduce you to her. She is a marketing leader, a thought leader in the space, marketing aficionado, visionary, advisor to the stars. High growth companies or companies that would like to be there, they're seeking her out. They're saying, please take our marketing, help us define ourselves, help us to get noticed by people. Decade plus of experience in high tech and cybersecurity, and again, results focused. How about a 600% increase in LinkedIn followers in 6 months? How about a pipeline over $7 million within just 12 months? How about delivering 294% ROI increase? Holy crap, sign me up. Chief Marketing Officer at Cyber Defense Group, Karen Sung, welcome to the show.
Wow, that's some intro there. Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, man, I'm excited. You get things done, and I feel like just being able to interview you now and learn from you, I can't wait for the exact same results, I'm sure, from listening to this podcast. So without further ado, let me pass you this thing. It's heavy, but I know you're tough. Here you go. Okay, go
Nice.
ahead. You want to take Thor's hammer?
All right.
Go ahead, grab it. You got it?
Got it.
Okay, Karen, take Thor's hammer and smash for me some kind of marketing myth, bogus strategy, misconception. Set the record straight once and for all.
Okay, the myth, you ready?
Ready.
It's if you're channel first, you don't need to market to customers. And the truth of that, it's brand suicide. So just to break down this myth, if you're channel first, you don't need to market to customers because your partners are going to take care of it.
Yeah, and so like what's happening here? People are like, well, we do channel, so we don't have to do any of our own stuff because our partners will take care of it. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, basically. I mean, to me, it's like throwing a party and you're asking your guests to bring the party favors, the wine, the food, and then the playlist. It's not, that's just not the way that it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, like in Miami and LA and New York, it does not work that way anywhere,
No.
right? Not on a house, not with a mouse. None of these situations that is this ever the kind of thing you want to ask everyone to bring all, because guess what? They're not going to bring the best playlist. They're not going to always, like, if you outsource all of that, no one knows you like you do, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. It's like, so if your customers don't know who you are or why you matter, your partners are going to walk into conversations with zero backup. And then, so you've really got to set the tone. You've got to build your brand and you've got to make it easier for your partners to win.
Got it. Yeah, like empower them and enable them to do it. Where does this come from? Why do so many people fall into this trap of just thinking that their partners are going to handle it?
Maybe they've had some success through partners and they think that, hey, I don't need to do anything else. My partners are going to do it for me. Or, so many reasons, right? Like, maybe there's a small marketing budget and they think because they have partners, they don't need to market directly to customers.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've experienced that too, where maybe your partners, maybe you just have a partner who's like really good at sales, and you're like, well, I feel like they said it better than I did, and I think I'll just let them run with it. But yeah, and then I've got to a situation myself even where my partners were almost like pre-selling for me.
Mhm.
And then and it's amazing because you get these warm leads people who are already ready to go. But man, does that get you lazy.
Yeah, it does, and yeah, and, like, I've seen over the years, when you're not doing a lot of marketing, but then you are, talking to partners and you have all of these deal registers come through, but then, you're not closing those deals. Those deals are just sitting open or they're taking longer to close. Because at the end of the day, you're still selling to your customer. You're still selling directly, right? Like, and if your customer can't find you or has no idea who you are and your partner is trying to push you, it's going to make it harder for them in the long run.
And I can imagine eventually maybe they're not sending them your way if you can't close the deal.
Exactly.
You know? They're like, "Well, I was throwing you a bone here, but man, like, how do you fumble that?" Like, and you must, like, really not have any collateral that you weren't able to, put your final stage prospect at ease because you have nothing to provide them.
Yeah, I mean, and if a partner comes to you and they keep bringing you deals, and none of them are closing, they're probably going to stop working with you after the third, fourth deal that doesn't close, right? Like they're going to go to other partners where they know that they can close deals, where they know that that it's going to be an easier sale.
That's a great point. Like, it's so short-sighted. Hey, the partners are yeah, they don't have to. They don't have to bring you these deals.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, like, it and I could see the barn door swinging the other way, where you go hardcore, all about your own marketing, and then you neglect your partners. How do you find balance between the 2?
Definitely. So there is a balance, and I came up with some strategies, and I'm not sure if this is the right time to share those.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do this.
No.
Yeah, I'm dying to know because 'cause I've done this the wrong way for sure.
Oh, okay. So I came up with 5 strategies, and these are pretty high level. I'll go into them a little bit in detail so I can explain them each. And feel free to stop me if you want. So the first one is you have to develop buyer personas for both your customer and partner. So I think as marketers, we all understand that customer ICP is foundational to your marketing success. But understanding who your partner is and their needs and preferences is going to be equally as important, right? So the goal here at a customer level is you're looking to understand what they truly need, what they value, and you're using that to tailor your messaging, product strategy. But then at the partner level, you need to understand what motivates your partners. So it's usually, how much are they going to make? How easy is this going to be? What kind of sales and marketing support can I get? Is there technical enablement? Can I trust this partner? All of that, right? So the outcome here that you can hope to achieve is that your marketing is going to speak to the right people, and it's going to drive deeper engagement, stronger trust, and higher conversion across both customer and partner.
Mm. I can totally see us neglecting I mean, half the time, marketers don't even do the buyer persona for like, their actual end customer. But let's say you did, you gotta do it for your partner. Does it look the same? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, it looks a little different, right? Like, what I mentioned before is at the partner level, it's more about understanding what's motivating your partners, right? Like this is a little bit different in that aspect. Cause, I think at the end of the day, the partner's interested in how much they're gonna make, right? How easy is this sale gonna be? Do they have to understand, how hard is your product to understand? What kind of people are they gonna be working with? And then, I think all of this gets wrapped up in trust as well, right? Like, because, and I'll reveal a little bit later, trust is also a really important part of this strategy.
Got it. Man, this seems like a lasagna. We've got layers
Gosh.
of the partner's thinking, "How much am I gonna make on this partner deal?" But also, man, that second thing you said about how easy is this sale gonna be? Like, I'm gonna make a ton of money, but this partner is gonna annoy the crap out of me for the next no, take the deal, run with it, give me my commission check. Like, they're thinking, like, how much time versus how much money they're gonna make, and then you know, will I get embarrassed if I recommend these people and they comes
Exactly.
back? and it comes back to me, maybe hurts my own future deals. So you don't want that. Okay, so there's different questions that you're asking about these can you just like if you don't do this, I can easily see you get bad partners, right? You think like more partners is better, but maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think it's, being able to develop, with that ICP or persona, targeting the right types of partners because not all partners are equal, right? There's some partners that might be too big for where you are in your company or might be, they don't really align with what your product is or what you're selling. So not all partners are created equal. I think there's also maybe you have relationships at a certain partner company and it's going to be easier for you to work with them.
Yeah, and then man, I mean, people listening that work in the partnership arena can probably relate to this, but I definitely, maybe even about 2 years ago, went all in on a partnership within a particular association because it just seemed like, man, they're just swimming with my ideal client. And it ended up being they didn't. So they weren't I didn't have and I didn't have any of this. I didn't have the persona on the ideal partner or on the client. And come to find out, they were swarming with not my ICP.
Yes.
No, this was like not a good partnership. They weren't a good partner. And at the end of the day, they didn't have the right customers for us too. So it was like time to cut bait and bounce.
Exactly. Yeah. So the second strategy
Yes.
that I want to share is you still have to build brand awareness, but that brand awareness needs to fuel your partner success. So the goal here is to use your brand awareness to create market demand and customer trust that partners can easily convert into pipeline and then close deals. Because even in a channel first model, customers need to recognize and trust your brand. And without direct marketing efforts like SEO, paid search, social media, thought leadership, partners are really going to struggle to generate interest and close those deals. And, the outcome here, you're going to fuel your customer success by increasing customer demand, which is going to obviously lead to stronger partner confidence. And then at the end of the day, you're going to close more deals and those deals are going to close faster.
Mm, I it this sounds a lot like the partner says, "Here's the brand I recommend. Here's my guy over here." And you go, "Oh yeah, I've heard of those guys. You
Yeah.
recommend them?" "Yes, I do. Here's
Yeah.
someone." So it's not just some like cold intros. You can stand on your own. You're interdependent, not codependent on each other.
Right. And, brand awareness is still really important, even though this is B2B. So maybe it could be, lower down on the list of importance. But if you look at two brands and they do exactly the same thing, but you haven't heard of one of those brands, you're probably going to buy from the brand that you have heard of just
Yeah.
because of brand recognition. And that's how powerful it is.
So I guess the three-letter question I have is how? What do you recommend when it comes to I mean, brand just feels like a giant monster that you could spend all day and all the money on.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously every company is different. Every marketing budget is different. But I think it's, by understanding who your ICP is first, because, right, that's the important foundation. You're still understanding who your customer is. Then you understand where those customers are. So where you're going to find them. So, you'll probably do, if you do some paid search, maybe some SEO events, thought leadership. Those are probably the top ways to find these folks.
Yeah, just be out there, right? Like, be out there making noise, making a fuss, having your own thought leadership. That makes sense, right? And something and man, I could see you totally repurposing things too. I mean, you're out there doing your own thought leadership, and then you share it with your partners, you know? It doesn't have to be like a whole totally separate endeavor. I'm sure you can just, like, leverage everything so that you're not having to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. And there's ways in that are like cost effective, like social media, for example.
Yeah,
Using social media as a superpower, right? Just being on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably the best place as a B2B marketer to find your ICP, right? Just
right.
being able to share who you are, what you're doing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay. So we gotta take care of the brand so that we can
Yes.
show up for our partners. What's number 3?
So number three is collaborating closely with your partner. So to me, this is the relationship side of things, right? Partnership is a relationship game because I believe people, I mean, it's true. People buy from people and people work with and buy from people they like.
Right.
Simple as that, right? And I think your job as a marketer is threefold here. And it's one, make it easy for your partners to believe in your brand. The second one is build connection and not just campaigns. And then the third is to fuel alignment with storytelling and support that makes them feel like they're an extension of your team. And the outcome here is you're going to get more sales. Partners are going to sell what they believe in and people they like. And this is going to increase your marketing effectiveness.
Yeah, working closely with them. You know, it's cool as we're talking and saying these things, I hope this is happening with everyone else too. I'm thinking about the partnerships that I have and like, oh, I owe that person an email and
Mhm.
I want to reach out to them after this conversation. Um, a any good like starter, what appetizer course for getting a better working relationship with your partner?
Yeah, I think, number one, staying top of mind, right? Find the way that your partner likes to be communicated with, right? So some partners rather have you send an email. Some are going to be more responsible if you send a text message. Some want to pick up the phone and have a conversation. Some of them want to go meet you for coffee or go grab a drink. So just find the best, way to communicate with your partners and stay top of mind with them. I think this is going to be really important here, and just being able to, if being able to uh, create things that are going to help them is also going to build trust with them as well from a marketing perspective, right? Because this is also about relationship.
Yeah, like content or devices or things that tell me more about that.
Yeah, so this is actually my fourth
Oh,
part of the strategy. So you walk right into it.
yeah, it's almost like we planned this.
Yeah, so this is about co-marketing, right? So you need to give your partners ready to use marketing resources. And this is a bit on the tactical side of things, right? So um, those marketing materials and tools partners can use, and your job here is to co-market and provide them with ready to use resources like email templates or pre-written social media snippets so that they can use and they can promote your brand effectively, but not only effectively, consistently, right? So then they can focus on selling and they don't have to create things from scratch. And the outcome here is you're going to achieve greater partner engagement, faster execution. You're going to increase your pipeline. And then now you've empowered your partners to be more quick and have confidence in your brand.
I love that. Do you have any examples of that? Any things come to mind that you found were really helpful?
Yeah. Yeah. So, like when doing events, something that I like to do is I like to send our partners a partner kit. And in the partner kit, I've got, usually it's got an email that they can use to promote the event. It's got a link to the landing page where people can sign up. It's got, social cards that they can just, copy and paste and put onto LinkedIn, along with some snippets of information. So little things like that to help them, right? Because like reaching out to other people to get them, if you're working on an event together and you want them to help you drive attendance to that event, and you just say, hey, send me like put some butts in those seats, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be much harder and take them much longer, and maybe they might not even do it if you don't give them something to work with and something easy. You're pressing the easy button for them. You're making it as easy as possible for them to work with you.
Mm, so many ideas come from this. Okay. The partner kit, is that a physical kit or is it like a collection of files or both?
It's usually just, I'll do a collection of links, and the links will open up to, various resources. It's really nice these days, Google Documents, right? Like
Yeah.
you can share with anybody, and all of that is easily manipulated and shareable.
And I love the idea. They don't have to create from scratch.
Yeah.
That is the key because 1, they may not do it, or 2, if they do, they probably might do it wrong.
Yeah.
Give them the official let's give them social card link. That's really cool.
And like, one little insider tip is with not Google Sheets, but Google Documents. There are builders now within Google Documents, and one of those builders is an email template builder. So what you do is you click on it, and you basically put all the email information in there, the subject line, the body of your email, and then when it's in the document and a partner receives it, they just click one button and it opens up into their email. And all they have to do is put in the email addresses. So making things as easy as possible is the key here.
Wow, just put in the emails. Yeah, right? So, like, remove all the friction from their process so that you can co-market together. Um, anything that doesn't work too well, you've seen not work too well or to avoid?
As far as resources, I think, the more the better. I think also I would say, simplify things, right? Make things simple. Use the KISS method, as they say, right? Keep things simple, or keep it all simple. What does it stand for?
See, I mean, I screwed up YOLO the other
Keep it
day,
super
which is
simple. That's what it
yeah,
is.
keep it super simple or keep it simple stupid.
Yes, that's that too.
I screwed up YOLO the other day. I said, like, you live only once, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not YOLO. That's YOLO. YOLO would be you only live once." So, who even knows? But yeah, so you keep it simple so that you're not confusing people and you're just like, do something.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, you understand your brand the best out of both parties of people, right? And they
Right.
might not understand your brand as much. So keeping it, and they might be working with, 50 other vendors. So if you're not keeping it as simple as possible for them, they're going to move on. It's too much, people naturally, I think, are, can be lazy. So, and especially if they're working with multiple vendors, make it easy.
Make it easy. Love it. Okay. 4 s 4 seems like one of the really pop but you gotta do 1, 2, and 3, right, before you get to 4. I bet you some people just skip right to 4. What's 5?
So 5, the final one, final
Yeah.
strategy, and I feel like this goes without saying, but is using data to drive your decisions. So as a marketer, I love data. I'm constantly looking at it. I'm constantly reporting, and using data to drive your decision making is going to allow you to continuously optimize those marketing efforts. And then, we all have to prove ROI at some point too. So that, and then with this, it also ensures that both your partner and customer strategies are based on real insights and not just guesswork. Because we really want to make sure that we have effective campaigns and smarter resource allocation, which will give you growth across both direct and partner channels.
Okay. Um, yeah, I guess this ties back into, right, like, quality, not quantity, so looking at the data to understand the good partners from the bad, the initiatives that worked from the ones that didn't, and not just using your gut, "Oh,
Yeah.
I think this is a good partner." "Oh, maybe."
Right. And I think, like, the way that the world is these days, with so many companies merging and acquisitions and, budgets getting tighter, it's, with the resources that we have to be very efficient with those resources. And if you're not using data, you're kind of just like, I guess it's like driving a car, but putting a blindfold on.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
That sounds totally hazardous. Last night we had a special speaker, who has challenges with his eyesight, and we ate dinner blind.
Oh, very cool.
It was some people were like, "I'm hard pass, I'm out," but I'm like, "No, I'm in," and you know what? That salad started out no problem, but by the end, we were just like cavemen eating with our hands and stuff. It was really interesting.
That's interesting. Have you heard of the place in San Francisco that is dining in the dark? So you basically go there and it's dark. Nobody can see anything. and everyone is eating in the dark.
Yeah. You know what? I know it was like designed to make you, appreciate things, and I did, but I also appreciated everything else. Like you appreciated the texture. You know what? The effort it took to get the dinner rolls passed around and then the butter. Like I have not had a better dinner roll because the work that went into that one. But yeah, yeah. So I don't know how we got on this, but like, yeah, don't be blind, right? Like use your data and all that. That's crazy. Well, hey, quick another question for you, because this is like fantastic. So I'm curious where you learn from. What kind of sources are you reading things lately? Is it podcasts, events?
Yeah.
How do you get your input?
Yeah, so it's a bit all over the place. I feel like learning as a marketer is uber important. It's to constantly learn about the environment of the that you're in. And so I listen to a lot of different podcasts. There's some podcasts like there's one from HubSpot that I really like. And then there's a couple other ones. There's one from a company called Brand Innovators that I really like. Lots of different marketing podcasts, but then also there's some channel podcasts that I really like as well. Being that I do a lot of channel marketing as well, and I think LinkedIn Learning is also a great place to go. Some CRMs have learning as well, like HubSpot has a really, really good resource center. And then I'm part of a CMO group that does I guess it's a webinar every Friday. And it's just a bunch of CMOs and, it's real talk. They talk about, anything from staffing to strategy to, it's really everything.
Wow.
AI has been a very hot topic across many different channels, as you probably could have guessed. So, I try and learn from as many places as possible. And then also being in cybersecurity, there's a lot of practitioners around me, right? So I try and take time with them every once in a while and just learn more about cybersecurity and its impact. And I think one of those things right now, AI is all over the place, and AI is a really big topic of discussion, not only just in marketing, but in cyber. I'm sure it's a topic for discussion across the board, right?
Man, yeah, everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. I mean, what's your 2-second take on AI?
I love it. I am using it. I think I started, when it first came out, maybe not as much, but within the last couple of years, I am using it every day. I believe I use ChatGPT pretty regularly. I think it's important to use multiple sources of AI and not just go to one source. But I'm using it every day. Like I use ChatGPT, I ask it questions. It's made, its answers are much better than they used to be. It knows who I am. It's actually funny because the other day I wanted to see if it knew who I was, and I said, "Hey, tell me who I am," and it was spot on because not only do I use it for work, I've used it for some personal stuff as well, and it was pretty crazy. I was very impressed.
Wow. Yeah, that's just gotta be it, right? Just embracing it um, and rolling with it, but it'll be really interesting to see even a year's time, right? I remember when
Yeah.
it first came out, it was kinda hokey, and you're like, "Oh, that's cool," but man, has it gotten better, and have you used voice mode?
Yes, definitely.
Voice mode is legit.
Makes it much easier and faster. I mean, like the whole dream of AI making us faster, it's there, right? And I think that if you're a marketer and you're not using AI, you're already behind. So, yes, very important.
So behind. Those are the marketers that are still doing SEO strategies from the 2000s, right? Like,
Probably.
you are out of the game, my friend. Get in the game. And you know what? The fastest way to do that would probably be do a little chat with ChatGPT or Grok or whatever and say like, "Hey, I think I'm behind. Can you catch me up?" Right?
Sure. Yes, you probably. But, I think at the end of the day, like there's still something to say about having used AI for the last 2 years and used the same platforms and the learning that it's done on me,
Totally.
which is maybe scary at the same time, but also impressive and amazing.
Man, fun thing I loved doing was because of all the memory and all the info it had on me, I asked ChatGPT. A friend told me about this. You can say, based on what you know about me, draw a picture of my life.
Hmm.
And it just created all and I looked a little cooler. I would say I appreciated that little extra touch up, ChatGPT. But like, I had all these different elements of my life and had a mysterious third child. I don't know if that was I don't know what's going on with that, but but other than that, it was really cool. Um, Next question for you is like, really, who are you? Who are you? How do you know all of these things? Take me back in time. Little Karen days. Did you know you're going to be a marketing leader, totally dominating the cybersecurity space and just absolutely kicking ass?
No, I had no idea. I think I actually got my first job in my career. I thought I was going to be in finance. So I started out in San Francisco, and I went to, I can't remember, maybe it was Goldman Sachs, and I had my first job there, and I thought this is not what I want to do. So I ended up staying in a few years. I thought it was the right career path to take just because of my dad was in finance and how that goes. One day I saw all my friends working from home, and I'm like, I want to work from home too. I have to be in tech to do that. Great, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Um, so I went to a tech company, and I did events. I was on their event team. I was on their corporate event team, and I loved it. That was my start in marketing with events, and I thought it was like the most fun. But back then, I it was the way that I thought about marketing was a little bit different. So that was my entryway into marketing, and through there, I've been at a bunch of startups, specifically in cybersecurity, and I've really just grown to love what I do. I'm very passionate about marketing. I find it fun from the perspective of being able to be creative, but also to be able to be analytical at the same time. And
Yeah.
so you're kind of defining your creativity within parameters and measuring how it's going to succeed.
Man, like what a shift from finance.
Yes, that is a pretty dramatic shift. It's funny because my sister did the same exact thing as well. She started in finance too, and then she's also in tech now as well, but a little bit different. She's in sales, so.
You know, was the shift just seeing that other way of living and like was that just the light for you? Like and then you jump or was it like a slow, steady, like, "Oh, man, I think I need to shift."
I think it was just getting the first job in tech, right? Like I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be in finance. This is boring. I don't understand it. I was at one point I needed to take my series 7 and series 63 or something like that. And, I started going to the classes because my company signed me up for it. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this.
yeah, and it's boring as shit, so,
It is.
like, I don't understand it, and I don't wanna understand it, like, my
Exactly.
I've had that where my brain just rejects it outright, like, it's like, "No, dude, we don't wanna know this. It's
Yeah,
not coming in."
exactly.
Dang, well, what's it been like then to, like, now be in this the cybersecurity world and, like, just the kinda conferences? I mean, I feel like I've heard that some conferences you gotta, like, leave your cell phone at home because 'cause you'll just immediately get hacked and
No.
all that stuff. No?
No, and okay, so there are like Black Hat, for example. Black Hat
Yeah,
is a big, what they call a hacker conference, right? Maybe RSA too, I don't know, but Black Hat is kind of more well known for having that, that perception. And it's funny because the first time I went to Black Hat, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to like leave my computer in my hotel room. I'm gonna leave my cell phone, like I'm gonna turn off my cell phone when I get to the booth. All of this stuff. And then I started talking to some people, and then I started going to the conference every year. And everybody's like, no, not so much, but you still should be careful, right? Don't log into your bank account or, log into your, any personal accounts while you're on the show floor, for example, right? Probably not the best idea.
Not a
So
yeah.
use some judgment when you're doing that, right? There are probably some people that are more they might be a little bit more strict than me. Luckily, knock on wood, nothing has happened at those conferences, but yeah.
But hey, that's way more fun than a finance conference. Let's go.
Definitely, yeah.
Dang, dang. That sounds it just sounds like a blast though. Like all the different but like a whole totally different world behind the scenes of like all the things that are going on.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of fun, at the same time going to all of these different conferences, and now I've been doing this for so long, you also start seeing people that you used to work with or friends of yours. So every time you go, like RSA, for example, it's a bit of a reunion, right? Like it's like, oh, hey, you want to go say hi to all the people that you used to work with or your friends from previous lives or whatever it is. So it is fun, and I feel like, it's also because I've also, been in tech, but also, like, a different type of tech, and the difference is I think the people in cyber to me, are s maybe smarter is not the right word, but they're more interesting to me. Like the conversations that we're having are more interesting. They're more forward thinking than, for example, there was another company that I worked for that sold Kubernetes. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what is Kubernetes? That is not sexy or fun sounding at all.
right.
So I just think that cyber is innovative. It's on the top of everyone's minds these days. I mean, we've been seeing a lot more breaches at our company. We've seen probably three times more than we've seen in the year before that, and then in the year before that, we were seeing a, a, a double amount from there. So it's here, and it's hitting people of all different sizes, and especially like the smaller and mid-sized companies as well, because it's easier because they might not have the right security protocols in place.
Right. Right. Man, like what an important, like fast moving how do you feel about the idea of that niche and like the focus even for yourself, the focus in the cybersecurity in the tech world? Um, I mean, definitely puts you on the map. Like, yeah, people you can and introduce you like, hey, specializes in cybersecurity. People like, oh wow, that's great. Like for a marketer to specialize.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it has been a door opener for me, right, as far as career goes, um, because it is something that, not a lot of people have. I mean, and you look at the cybersecurity world, as it is, and maybe it doesn't apply to marketers, but, like, with practitioners, there is a real challenge hiring, people that understand cybersecurity and that, will actually stay at your company. I think that the average time of a CISO these days at a company is like 2 years. It's because there's not enough talent there. So they constantly moving to like go for more money or whatever it is. But as a marketer, having this experience and expertise, I think, makes you sharper, it makes you as a sharper tool in the tool belt.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I have a bit of a hypothetical question for you.
Sure.
So, you see, I may or may not have a time machine here in New Hampshire. So, the next time you come visit, event in Boston, some cyber event in Boston, come visit. It's actually in the backyard covered in a tarp. And it's a particular kind of time machine. And you go back in time and you get to meet yourself a couple days after graduating from college. You get that visual arts degree, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, about to go in the workforce, maybe into the finance world. You haven't quite learned about that yet. What do you tell yourself? You get to go and visit that year and have a conversation.
So it's going to be some of what I talked about earlier, and it's about use your creativity as your superpower, but learn how to measure it. So when I was first starting out, I just thought great marketing meant like, you made things look pretty and people showed up. But I wish what I knew earlier is that creativity is only going to be half of that equation. And the other half is proving that it works. So data is not going to create, data is not going to kill your creativity. It's actually going to make it stronger.
Damn. You know what? I've heard a lot of chit chat with our prior self, but the idea that creativity is only half the equation, that that now here, I guess the follow-up question is, do you think you would listen to yourself?
Gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. Who knows? I would
Right?
like to think that maybe if I knew that it was my older self, because that would mean that I could know what the future was, right?
Yeah, right? Like, "Who are you, crazy person? I'm not listening to you. No, 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 seriously. Sit down, little Karen. We gotta talk." Um, yeah, wow, is the half the equation, in the idea that the data doesn't restrict you, it actually frees
It's
you,
going to enhance.
it
Yeah.
enhances you. Dang, that's powerful. Well, if people wanna connect with you, where do you want them to go? Apps, emails, LinkedIn, whatever?
Yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn. I am there, or they can email me. They can email me at Karen@cdg.io.co or .io. That's it,
Cool.
cdg.io.
Okay. Shoot you a note, man, and definitely when you reach out, say, don't be a weirdo. Say like, "Hey, I heard you on the pod. Great pod conversation." So we have some data to put to the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Karen, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on here. Like, I feel like this is a masterclass in achieving that like Zen-like balance of channel marketing and your own marketing and your own branding. So, man, I am just blown away. The five core principles, all of these things. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope that your listeners get some nuggets of information here. Appreciate you having me. Thanks.
Yeah, heck yeah. For those listening, if you learned something, I freaking know you do because I literally have 2 pages of notes over here,
Nice. I love it.
front and back. Then I ran out of space. I was writing sideways by the end. Then share this with someone else, like 1 person, 3 people. 9,000 is cool too, but even 1 person is thought leadership. Like, who needs to hear this? Are you in the channel? Are you working with someone in the channel? Do you have a channel partner that's absolutely doing a terrible job? Then get them this episode so they can start learning how to better invest. And do yourself a favor. Do that buyer persona for your partner too, and the brand and the co-marketing. Man, just so many nuggets. I have so many to-dos after this, Karen. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, this has been a crazy cool channel marketing episode of the Hardcore Marketing Show. We will catch you all next time.